So I guess we'll get into the other show now, which is TNA Bound for Glory. And again, everybody want to thank everybody who came out for the watch along that we had yesterday on Spaces. That was a lot of fun. I feel like TNA and NXT and AAA are more our wheelhouse. The show started with the during the pre-show with which I didn't catch the Hall of Fame inductions because, like we said, we were an hour off on our start times. But I did see the this match where the Inspiration won the tag titles from the Elegance brand, which makes sense since Ash had to retire. I feel like they revamped themselves there and gonna probably figure out those girls and put them somewhere else or something.
Yeah, it was. And I saw some of this. Mickey James was pretty cool.
Yeah, I do want to say I saw pictures of it. I saw Victoria was with her in it. I'm gonna watch that at some point today. I'm gonna watch Raw and then I'll watch that because I saw it was on YouTube. The show kicked off with Steve Maclin beating Frankie Kazarian for the international title.
Quickly.
Okay. I was just gonna say super quick. The first few matches, and I mean it made sense because they had the call your shot battle gauntlet coming up. But yeah, this match was 8 minutes, followed by Tessa Blanchard beating Gia Miller in 6 minutes.
Yeah,
that one was real quick. Which
they were moving along.
Yeah, which made sense. And also for what this was since Gia's more of a backstage announcer, like Tessa did have to kind of squash her. That made
she held her own. She did pretty good.
That was just gonna say
right.
She had a good showing. She had some good moments, but she had to lose. Like that was right. I mean, and I've been saying about it with Tessa, like it seems at least like she's been wanting to work however they want her to work. You know what I mean? Like whatever they've been having her do, she's been willing to do, as opposed to backstage issues before that she said she's had. So good for her.
Yeah, they managed to put 7,794 people in this joint too, which I was surprised at actually.
Right, especially when at the morning when it was announced they'd sold like 6,050 tickets. So that was a big jump over in the
they always had a good walk up.
The walk up, yeah, that's what I was going. The walk up was thank you. I could not think of the phrase. Yeah, walk up. I was thinking day of, but walk up is the phrase in wrestling, and that's good. I mean, the storylines they had that were going well. I obviously too. I feel like with Lowell, Massachusetts, part of it was people were. I'm not going to buy a ticket now, not knowing what the weather might be on that day, and have to drive in the terrible shit that they have to do with. But it was good.
I mean, they sold a lot of tickets. They had good walk up, and I'm sure they comped a bunch too. But
I'm sure.
I heard they were comping pretty good.
I'm sure. You know what I mean? But hey. That's fine. I mean,
they all do it. Everyone picks on AEW for doing it. They all do it, dude.
Yeah, you'd rather have a full house than not. Like, I remember with AEW, people were all harping on like when they had like the seat fillers. I'm like, WWE does that. Everybody does that. You'd rather
the Oscars do it. Jesus,
right? For the seats that people are gonna see, you don't want to see an empty seat. Like in any show, like during the main event, sometimes you'll see like, hey, people had to beat the traffic or they had to go, and like when there's patches of empty seats, it's never a good look. So it makes sense. The Call Your Shot gauntlet was fun. I mean, it is what it is. It's their version. I swear it's their combination of the Royal Rumble and the Money in the Bank. And they do it like Money in the Bank used to be a WrestleMania match. This is a Bound for Glory match. So they kind of have to have it. I feel like there was some of it that was kind of like, all right, like whatever.
Yeah, not a fan of the intergender stuff.
Yeah,
we'll get to again in another part of this. But
yeah, we said that on the show, or I do in the live part of it, of just not our favorite thing. And I mean, they did kind of get, especially, I mean, it started with some ladies and it got rid of them. And then the ladies that were out towards the end, like Jody Threat and Rosemary, that was a little bit more of like, you can see like they were able to, use the mist and their trick moves or whatever to kind of beat them. But yeah, I'm not the biggest fan. It was cool. I mean, AJ Francis came in and was a monster but there was fun parts of it. But
yeah, and as you can see by this picture, you can see this. There was a lot of this going on tonight. The leg slapping shit. There was a lot of that going on.
Unfortunately,
this is what they're doing here. This is what they're getting ready to do. A leg slap.
No, unfortunately, it's one of the downfalls of Shawn Michaels being one of the greatest ever, because he was great at it, but he was great at being smooth with it. You know what I mean? Like he didn't, you know what I mean? Like he wasn't, he wasn't as obvious with it, I guess is the best way to put it.
Couldn't tell it was a leg slap.
Yeah.
You knew it was, but you couldn't really, we don't know for sure.
Yeah.
He did it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no. It just, it had a fun little part with Santino and Kazarian going back and forth. Santino put himself in the match and had a callback to his Royal Rumble record where he was eliminated in a second, which was fun. but it was silly. In the ending was kind of silly where they had both.
Me.
Yeah. Some of the endings bothered other people that didn't bother me as much. We'll get into that. This did, though. This didn't make a lot of sense. I mean, I get what they're doing with it. It's just, I'm kind of like, yeah, it's just, yeah.
And the other thing I don't like the fact that you have to have the trophy in your possession when you call your shot.
Yeah.
That was evident because later on,
yeah, at the end of it all,
one guy comes out with the trophy, and the other guy wants to cash in, but he can't cash in because he doesn't have the trophy.
Yeah,
this is the problem when you have two people. This is the problem you're gonna have.
Which is all I kept saying is, well, then they need to like cash it in as a triple thret match, but it's just silly. Yeah, no, I'm with you 100% on that, and yeah, it just didn't. And this is also why the other with AEW where they cash in and you have to have the contract and sign it, and it's just there's sometimes for something like you've said it 3 or 4 times on this show, keep it simple, stupid, and they didn't. This is not simple. This is stupid.
With the Money in the Bank thing, they have the briefcase, but just make it simple. Or briefcase is pretty simple. You're always got it with you. I get that.
Well, and you don't have to do anything else but hand it to the referee and say I'm cashing it in. You don't have to sign anything. You don't have to have the you're absolutely right. It's why it's the original. It's the classic. It's the easiest. And sometimes people try to make their own moves.
Don't make it more complicated. God.
You try to take your own spin on it, and you're going to make it more complicated. Even this Call Your Shot Gauntlet, we were watching it. Like, yeah, it's a Royal Rumble, just a little weirder. But it was fine. It was like 27 minutes, give or take. Next up was the women's title match. Kalani.
Yeah.
Jordan.
Before we move it, at this point, we made mention of the fact that the audience was just happy to be there.
Oh yeah, no.
The crowd was. They were there. They
were loud too. They were clapping.
They were loud at points.
Yeah.
They weren't really into anything as of now.
Yeah, I felt like, and I kept saying it when we were watching, and I kept saying because I was looking. I had the card up in front of me the entire time we were watching the show. I'm like, they're going in order, and it's the match is because this is the Call Your Shots match number 4, and the ladies are in match number 5. And then the system hardcore intergender thing was the match 6, but 7, 8, and 9. Match 7 is Leon Slater versus Javon Evans. 8 was the Hardys and the Dudleys, and 9 was the title match main event. And it felt like you could just feel that people were waiting for that. Those 3. You're going to see the spectacle of the 2 young, awesome guys that are both 21 and young studs. You're going to see the old 50-year-old guys that are going to be in their last match, and then the title. So. But you're right. They were happy to be there. It didn't seem like they were like, yeah, I'm going to go get merch. I'm going to hang out in the bar area. It was
one left. I mean.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, good point. It was a fun match. This one here with Kalani and Indy. This is the one where I kept saying, I'm like, this is I was convinced that either Kalani was going to retain or Javon was going to win the X Division title, just to keep, because the partnership's not ending. It's not like they're stopping at for any reason. They're still going to do it. So it's one of those things that it worked. It worked for me. I liked it. For that part of it, for Kalani winning. So good for her.
This was I think I noticed during the broadcast that the refereeing was off in this match a little bit. Like her count was always count to 2, and then look at the timekeeper for another 2 seconds. So she was missing a pin combination that was going on behind a lot of times.
Yeah, no, and you're right. No, and you did call that out, and it was just kind of like a couple times, it's just like, yeah. I'm not sure who this referee is, because they had 2 female referees.
Right.
There were and the other one seemed to, like, the other one did well from what I saw. This was really the only time during the whole 4-hour live show that we talked about where there was a little like with the referee.
I told you during the show too. I expected Indy to be much better than what she actually is.
Yeah, I keep thinking it's more of a self-confidence. I think she's got the ability. I think she's got to mentally realize that she's a star, that she's good. No, I'm good. So the next match was the intergender 10-person hardcore war with the system of Moose, Brian Myers, and then Eddie and Alicia Edwards, and JDC, who's just Fandango, versus Order 4 of Mustafa Ali, Tasha Steele, Special Agent Zero, who we're going to show in a moment. That's a big dude. Jason Hotch and John Schuyler. Yeah. So he was this monster dude who I hadn't seen before. And thank God for Chris Connor, because he knew who he was and what his stuff and who, like, his backstory in the Indies and stuff.
Well, this is the match where we got to see the Boston Red Sox mascot, right?
Yes. Wally did come out during this. Yes. At the beginning.
With Eddie.
Very family friendly. Very family friendly. There was,
very friendly before we saw what we saw.
Yeah,
exactly.
that was a little. I mean, I get it though, because Eddie Edwards is from Boston. You're doing all that. There was a lot of Celtic stuff and Red Sox stuff, and nobody did anything for the Patriots. I'm a Red Sox fan, yes, but I'm not a fan of any other Boston teams. I would spend summers back east with my dad. He took me to Fenway from the age of like 5 years old, so I've got love for the Boston Red Sox. I do.
Yeah. So this dude here is solid.
Look at him.
He looked good.
And he did a big flying move. And then. Well, he did. This was awesome, and then it was like what does they call it? The penthouse to the outhouse when he slammed poor Alicia onto the thumbtacks.
She calls that. She likes that stuff.
Oh, I get it. Oh, that's fine. I don't like it. I'm not big on the thumbtacks. I said it.
No, I don't care about the thumbtacks. I just hate the part where he has to pick her up and drop her. Thumbtacks just add more disdain to my.
Yeah, the more disdain. Yeah, no, I don't like it. I've never liked it. I'm not either of it. I don't like intergender stuff much, and I don't like thumbtacks at all. It's too much. And then
anybody else
was it you or was it Chris? I was like, oh, they're using like hardcore thumbtacks. I guess they really stick in there. I'm like, oh fuck.
And these are the ones that stick and aren't like the ones you have in your office.
God. Yeah, no, this was not the most fun that I had during the evening. I'll give you that. It was what it was. The system won. Yay. It was kind of weird though, because you do kind of feel like that what the hell happened to Mustafa Ali now, because with his storylines and stuff. But also too, this is their Mania, and the hometown folks. Like Brian Myers had 33 on the back of his singlet there. Like they were in Celtics colors. Like it made sense. It was fine. I send him home happy. I get it.
Yeah, I don't no need for this match.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yep. Nope.
You could actually take that back. You can just take Alicia out, take the other woman out,
and the other one out too. Yeah, and they can just. Or maybe just have them on the outside and like they can do something.
There's no reason for me to be telling people that Alicia Edwards is the most valuable player on the team because she took fucking 95 tacks to the back.
It's about. I don't have anything else to add to that statement. You are correct, sir. Yes, that's all I got. Because no, when we were watching it, just like I don't want to see that shit. Now, what shit I did want to see was Javon Evans versus Leon Slater, the two 21-year-olds. Javon turned 21 in April and Leon in September.
Yeah, this one I was looking forward to.
Yeah.
So this, from what I've seen, this is like the most talked about thing all yesterday.
Yes, absolutely. Because these two guys, they're 21 years old each. Like I am older than their two ages combined. Like that's crazy. Like I'm old, but I'm not that old. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just weird. Like and for how talented they both are. What the thing for me was, what I was worried about was that there was no like ring general. There was no leader in this match, but they knew what they wanted to do. They did their stuff. They had great moments. I mean, both of them flew out of the ring out of like different points and hit each other with different moves. And it was a lot of fun.
Plenty of height.
Oh God! I mean, yeah, no, the
serious height.
Yeah, no, him being bouncy is not just a gimmick and not just he's both of them too. Like they are both just super high flyers. They did a lot of stuff that was very cool and dangerous, but not like AEW dangerous, where what was it? Dante Martin's gonna break his leg, or Ray Phoenix gonna break his arm. You know what I mean? Like you weren't doing this stuff with then onto tables, and like Leon Slater didn't set up a erector set of two ladders on the outside and the table in the middle.
Yeah, but the tables came up later on. They didn't prove to be too friendly either. So
right, yeah, no, but you knew that going into that match, so that was different. You know what I mean? Like this was just a regular match, and they treated it as such. And then this is where a lot of people differ, and I don't have a problem with this at all.
I got a problem with this.
Was Dark State coming in to interfere with it? I have zero issue with this for a multitude of reasons. One, neither of them. It makes so much sense for neither of them to really lose because they're both baby faces, and it gives them a reason to team up to go up against Dark State now. And Dark State just dropped the titles, and they're really not good enough to be in the title picture for the tag titles. So don't have them be in that. Like, this is perfect. This is a great little feud. I think that can happen. Maybe some people can team up with Javon and Slater, and maybe have an 8-man tag or whatever. But I like that idea of them two teaming together. You know what I mean? That makes me happy.
I hated this ending. Hated it.
That's fair. And I saw a lot of people did. Like I said, I really liked it because of that part of it. I like the idea of Leon Slater and Javon Evans.
You've taken what a match that everyone was talking about, and it didn't matter who would have won. It wouldn't have mattered. They're both 21 years old. Who cares? Have a winner.
Yeah.
You turn the best match of the night into what people talk about as one of the worst endings of a match of the night, which has happened.
Yeah,
I'm not going to call it the worst thing I've ever seen, but it was disappointing. And the crowd booed their ass
because the crowd didn't get a finish, of course, and that gives the Dark State guys heat.
You don't do. I made a mention yesterday. You don't do that in your WrestleManias. That's all. You just don't.
Well, you can't have in every single match. That's not what happens.
Listen, I understand your point, and I agree with your point of view. I just don't. I don't think it was a good way to end it on a WrestleMania type event.
I understand,
especially with these two kids. If Javon wins, okay. If
Which is why I definitely thought Javon was going to win this match. That was my prediction. That was what I said.
Yeah,
that was what I believe.
Be a winner. That's all I want.
We'll see how it goes with it. I really didn't have. I had no issues with it. And then I'm also one of these people that's gonna be super stubborn. Where when I see a bunch of people complaining, I'll stay over here and not be. I'll be the other. I'll be the one. I'll be the 1 versus 100. I don't mind. That's fine though. I do want to see them team up more because they had a great tag match on TNA or actually on NXT, and I feel like Javon being on because they've done it with Oba. There's going to be more NXT people on TNA until they get that TV deal. Which, damn it, I thought they were going to get it. I thought that was coming out when Chris Bay came out, and I forgot to get a picture of him. That's on me. Next up was it's funny you went from the youngest guys on the card to the oldest guys on the card. Get up. The Dudleys. I was glad they came. I felt like those were like actually Bubba's gear from the night. Look how faded those. Like, look at Devon's legs.
His boots, definitely the boots.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, like those. I feel like he's had this gear ready. Like, because look at Devon's pants. Those are newer. Those have not been washed as many as Bubba's. Bubba's are faded, which I love. I think it's great. What I also thought was great was Spike. I've always loved Spike, but I'm glad that he just came out and like ran out to them and then didn't stay. Because if he'd have stayed, we would have had to see him get.
Took me a while to figure out who it was. I'm like, is Stone Cold Spike Dudley here? What the hell? Ends up being just Spike without hair.
Yeah, well, I mean, did you see he did the interview with
I expected the
Chris Van Vliet recently. He did the interview with Chris Van Vliet recently, where he was bald, and I didn't realize he was that bald. I was like, oh. Wow, it happens. It gets the best of him, I guess. But it was fun. I was glad to see him. But like I said, I didn't want to see him. I was like, when he went to the back, I'm like, oh, thank God, because I didn't want to see some super Spike. Yeah. Right? Like, that's what he's known for. And there's a reason why it's.
But big shout out to Chris Connors on this one, because he said the only thing that would have made this better is if Joel Gertner would have came out and announced these guys. Yeah, and that would have been awesome, dude.
Yeah. And really it's still the neck brace. Yeah, no, that would have been fun. That would have, yeah. No, there was a lot of there was good. It was this was fine. Now that we know that nobody, came up was hospitalized afterwards or left on a stretcher. Everybody was ambulatory. It did. But it started off hot. It started off putting Jeff right through the table. I mean, that was a hell of a way to kick off the match.
I had a feeling they had to do something quick because Devon didn't look like he was going to go 15-20.
No. And the match did go. Well, the match went 15-45. Yep. I thought it went over 20. Yep. It did.
There was a reason everything was done in the beginning for the most part. Sure. Devon was left out of the main stuff, which I got. Right.
And when this match was announced, the first thing most people said was, "Can Devon still do it?" Like, because as far as everybody had known, Devon had surgeries and wasn't able to. And and Bubba wrestles pretty frequently, and that's why Bubba did most of the wrestling. It made a lot of sense, and they did it well. You had professionals, guys who knew what they were doing, seasoned pros. So I was all right with those parts of it. Jeff does the swanton out here that he kind of little overshot of it, but under. You're right, it was an undershot.
Missed him by at least a foot.
Right, because it's the table. The table's on the other side of Devon, and he hits the table, and like his legs kind of go there. Luckily, the table under Devon still broke. But woof, yeah, that was a little.
Yeah, what those stupid wraparounds in the table is the thing that got him in trouble.
Yeah,
on this too.
Those things. Yeah, and whoever got the tables forgot that you got to remove those parts. It's like those, and then the things that lock the table legs in place. Like, don't have either of those because those can hurt you.
You kind of have to have the locks in place.
Well, no, you could just have the tables. I mean, like you don't have the full on, because otherwise they just break.
Yeah, but you gotta have a lock on it so the shit don't fall apart. You can't have a table stand there without the lock on it.
On one of the sides, they'll usually pull it off because you don't want it to break. Otherwise it won't. It'll just the part that's under the table will just stay straight and snap at them. Either way, nobody gimmicked either of these fucking tables. That was every time they came up and they were like wrapped around the little metal rig and barrier thing. Like, yeah, it was.
As soon as he hit the tables, like all referees and all the security came right over there.
Well, yeah, I mean it
was pretty quick reaction time. Like, okay, here we go.
The only one who wasn't in their 50s is Jeff Hardy, and he's easily probably, if not for Devon, the most beat up. But yeah, there's the ring on. There's the table right there with the ring on, the ring around it. There, you can see it kind of bent. Yeah, that outer ring should not be there, especially for like these older guys that give. But as you can see, the Dudleys took their boots off and gave them to the Hardys. Obviously Devon's never wrestling again. I don't know if that fully means Bubba is done or maybe just Bubba.
I think he's done. I think he's done.
It could be. I mean, I just know he's wrestled a decent amount the last couple of years, but
where's he wrestling?
Independent shows. Like he was doing stuff with what's his name? Enzo.
Is he actually wrestling or just showing up like JBL? Like,
as far as I know, he's like in the main events of these shows. I see. Yeah, I don't. I used to watch a lot more Busted Open. I don't have as much time anymore, editing shows and doing this stuff. But I can't say for sure. But I definitely thought that he would. It definitely seemed to me like he was more. And they were like Northeast independent shows.
I would think with the ceremonial thing here, I think he's done.
I would hope so. I mean, they've made enough money. He's got a great gig with Busted Open. He doesn't need it. Devon's got his religious stuff too. Like obviously Devon's done. That's for sure. The question is Bubba. But it was good to see. Like I said, they all left together. That was great. I was happy to see that. No one's, as far as we know, everyone was still alive. No one was hospitalized.
Yeah. This is where the crowd perked up, folks.
Yes. Oh yeah. They got up.
From this point on, the crowd's into it.
Yep. Because, I mean, Mike Santana comes out and they are ready and they are hot for him. They were cheering him. Everybody knew like this has to happen. This is TNA. And also, too, like the storylines were so good around him and his history of who he really is, like the real stuff. They had Conan there with him, too. That was great. Conan. Anytime you can see Conan, it is never a bad thing. We always love Conan. That was my favorite video package that they did in all of the build-up stuff was the LAX one, where I don't know if you guys haven't seen it. It's on TNA's YouTube page, and I also posted on my Twitter. But it's Mike Santana like reading a letter from Conan, but it's Conan doing the voiceover and talking about all their history and everything they did in LAX. Great stuff. And also talking about Puerto Rico and Bad Buddy. It was great. And then Trick comes out looking in like
dedication to his daughter, though. It's nice.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
Which we'll see at the end, but
yep,
I mean,
we will.
He definitely puts her forward, so that's always good.
Well, and I mean, it's one of those things, man. People that have those major like addiction issues, the people that get through it, it's because they find something that's more important to them. For a lot of people, it's religion, but for him, and a lot of people, it's their kids and like stuff. It's something like that. And like, you got to respect that. You got to love that. Honestly, like as for me, everybody knows my story. My dad died when I was 26 suddenly, and he was my best friend. So for me, I love it. And I have anything for those types of stuff. And yeah, the shot at the end made me misty for sure. And we will get there, but it was good to see. It was good to see that they pushed him up right, because everyone was saying, you blew it, dude. WWE is totally making you their bitch in this partnership deal. And it's like, no, Mike Santana is going to win the title at their WrestleMania. It's going to be amazing. And it was a great match, And this is another thing that like you didn't like so much at the start, but I was okay with it. They did go outside of the ring and did a bunch of stuff outside, but it was before the bell rang. I was fine with that.
Technicality that I agree with Mr. Listen, let me finish.
I just think it's a tech.
I will agree with the tech. I forgot that.
Technicality.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you, sir. I will agree with Cornette 100% on that. He always makes fun of AEW for doing it, when they don't start the match, they are always outside brawling and they come in and start the match. I'm the same way. I don't like it either.
I'll give you that if it's always.
I don't like it.
This is the only match they did. If I get it worked for this one because of the story, because of what's happened.
I don't feel that.
I get you. I'm fine. I'm just giving you my opinion of it. I liked it because it wasn't. I would rather it be this than a ref count that's 10 seconds that takes 2 minutes. I will, for what it was. Sideshow, shout out to Sideshow Bob there over the anthem sign with the glasses. Yeah, right. He was the easiest spottable fan, and that dude was into it. He was yelling at Trick. I love that guy. Big fan of that kid.
A couple times.
Yeah, there was Carrot Top or Sideshow Bob, whatever you want to call him. I'm all for it.
That's why I asked you at the beginning if this was a no holds bar or a different.
And I was looking up, I didn't know, and then I heard the bell ring, and I'm like, oh, okay, that works. It was fine. And it was good in the sense, too, where, our Trick got on him early. Mike got his juice early and was bleeding the whole time, fighting from underneath, and there was a couple of times where they actually made you think, like when Trick hit the trick shot and went right for the cover, there was that moment of, oh, shit, are they not going to? They're not going to. And that's what makes wrestling so great when you have those moments of, oh, okay, yeah. And then, you know what I mean? And it comes through. And then, Mike hits the round the block is what he calls it, that lariat. And Mike Santana wins. He beat this was the shot afterwards because that's Kazarian there because they did try to have they try to have some shenanigans stuff afterwards. Yeah. Shenanigans. Thank you. I was going to say shady. You're right. Shenanigans where Nick Nemeth comes out but then Elias hits him. Did you also notice that Elias's guitar, they put baby powder in it because when he hit him, the powder.
Yeah, they always did that.
That's great.
That's cool. That gives a good effect for it. It gives a
right, especially when you have the light, like when you had the darkness and that light on him too, so it really kind of puffed out.
God, when we were watching this live, it was me, you, and Chris, and when they started presenting the shenanigans at the end, all of us went, no,
right, and quickly it was like, no, it was still, I'm glad it was done, we were just like, no, you can't, you didn't. Oh, good. And then we got the ultimate ending shot with Mike Santana hugging his daughter after he won the title. Like, I mean, and his daughter slapped Trick during the match too. Yeah. Like you could
with a smile on her face.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm all right with doing the kids. There was a point when Trick said you could see she's like biting her lip. She was doing all she could, but she's like a 12-year-old kid on camera.
Yeah,
I'd smile like an idiot too. Plus, I mean, I don't know if she for sure knew her dad was going to win, but I mean, I feel like when your whole family's behind you and all that.
Yeah, I don't think he would tell her.
I don't think he would either, but I'm just saying like this picture here, because she's in that shot to the right there with all. Yeah, when you see that, hope dad's going to win. But it was great. It was an awesome moment for him. I'm excited to see what's going to happen for him as the champion. But I mean, we've said it from pretty much the beginning of us doing this show, how impressed we've been with Mike Santana, not only his work ethic, but not taking Tony's money and going, like I'm going to take less money and I'm going to go actually wrestle and do what I want to do than sit on the couch and get a birthday wish every year on social media and a paycheck every 2 weeks. So I was happy.
TNA. I'm sorry, Jake, go ahead.
No, I was happy to see it. I was done. You're good.
Oh, okay, cool. Because TNA needs, like Trick wasn't the face of TNA.
No.
You needed the face of TNA to move forward. And whenever they have coming, TV, whatever,
right.
This is your face. This is your guy.
No. And that's what was great is that it was a great moment for Trick to actually be a heel, because he's a heel at NXT, but he's a cool heel in NXT. As we were talking about watching the show last night, the TNA fans, the ones that are like TNA first, they hate Trick because they don't like Trick in there, and which is what it's supposed to be. It's perfect. He got to do his great heel work. I'm interested to see if we'll ever see Trick on, not ever, but if Trick goes up. I said it early on that I thought Trick would be on this SmackDown this Friday or the next Raw. I didn't, because I knew he wasn't gonna go to Australia. So I think he's gonna. I really do. I think it makes sense just to bring him up, but maybe not. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do. We have that problem where there's just so much there.
And it's one of the things like I had convinced myself of it, and then Chris starts going through the list. Like, shit, those rosters are full. They really are, though. And I always talk about that too with when people say like, oh, they're misusing this person or they're fumbling this person. It's like, where are you going to? Not everybody can fit it. That's why I say when everybody's like, oh, you got to bring up Boba Fett. No, you do not. he doesn't have that much under his belt for career. Like he's young enough, like, because if you bring him up, you have to put him in the main event scene, and there's no room, and he could get eaten up and swallowed alive. Like, what's he gonna do? Go win the U.S. title? Like, I don't know. I feel like Oba has plenty of time left in NXT. It's just
a good dilemma to have.
There. It was just, you're right.
Have a problem. This is the one you want.
You could have, yeah, right. You could have the problem of like where TNA does have some issues of it, where their roster's a little thin in places, and you're sending out all three rascals during the.
Yeah, we noticed that yesterday. The TNA roster is top heavy, and nothing else. That's it.
And you feel like that's, because they've got the partnership with NXT, they can fill out the shows because there's usually one or two or more people from NXT on most TNA shows, like on Impact and stuff. But you hope that, like, if they get that TV deal or media rights deal or whatever deal you want to call it, whatever you want to, whatever they're calling it these days, like that money would infuse back into them. They could reinvest into strengthening up the roster. But, it still just kind of sucks in the sense of like when you see guys like Andrade re-signing with AEW and going to the Don Callis family, or I know they're trying to do stuff with Rusev on Raw, but he would have been so great in TNA. And honestly, like Malachi Black might have been too, but if he's going to be the new Karrion Kross, why isn't Karrion Kross? There's a shortage of bigger guys, bigger stars in TNA. And from what it looks like from watching there, the bigger heels, like AJ Francis is a big heel, but like who else? You could have guys
smart. They stick this Agent 000 guy.
Good Lord, yes. On that Agent Zero.
Start bringing him up a little bit, giving him some time, see if he can actually work, because we really couldn't tell yesterday.
Right. You can't, you can hide people's work in a match like that for what he had to do, like just show the athleticism. But yeah, can he work? It's a good point, because he's the Special Agent Zero is what his name was. He's 6'4", 6'5", like a big, and he's cut too. Like he's big. He looks big.
First thing I noticed.
Right. No, yeah. You were like 30 seconds ahead of me all night. So I'm like, who? I think you're asking him. I'm like, who is it? And he comes out. I'm like, oh shit, that dude is big. That was fun. Though.
Somebody to consider building around. With Santana and see if he can.
Right. Yeah. If he's got the skills at all, and Santana can lead him, that could be a decent. That could be a big win for Santana.
Yeah. We'll see what they do.
They also were smart enough to announce their other big shows that are coming up for TNA. They've got they were going to I forget where but they were going to El Paso. They're going to Genesis in January. Is going to be in Dallas. They're announcing. I mean, they're making their moves out, and they're obviously doing decently well. Like you said, it was 7,700 and last night in Lowell. Yeah, that's pretty. I mean, that's good for them. I mean, that's
7,794 to be
seven. Yeah, good for them, man. This is what AEW should have been doing, in the sense of focusing on their own shit, building up a product for their fans. Yeah,
but then in the right direction.
Yeah, but I mean, they did. But from the beginning, they were always punching up to WWE. Even like Jericho in that first press conference, or Cody with the throne. Like, don't worry about that.
Yeah,
focus on your own shit.
I get why they kind of did it, because at the time WWE was terrible.
This is true. But I just felt like they were pushed. They were so much more focused on it. Like, it's one of those things, like kind of like I say if WWE is going to mention AEW, like if it works in what you're doing, okay, but don't like stretch to it, because that's where I feel like Punk got hurt sometimes, is he was stretching to crack jokes on AEW when he could. But like there was that moment where the bald guy Rosenberg was like, "Oh, moveset," and Punk's like, "Don't say that. Only Mark say that." That was much funnier because it fit in the moment, and it was a shot at Hangman. Fine, but he wasn't like stretching to take shots at them. I feel like there was a point where Tony got so focused on that, and it was the TNA partnership they had was terrible for TNA. TNA was buried completely during that partnership, and Tony would just talk shit on their network, and no one was allowed to talk shit back to him. And we don't have that in TNA. I mean, they've been able to take shots at Shawn Michaels or talk shit or look big. It's been a real partnership, and it's been fun to see, and it's going to be fun to watch it continue, which it clearly is going to, which I'm excited.
I like the idea that they decided to partner more with that. It's an NXT partnership, basically.
Yes. Oh, it really is. It absolutely is.
Which works out, actually.
It absolutely is. And it's more of like, it's like your developmental minor league, whatever you want to call it, but everybody's got the eye on it. And then
I stopped calling it developmental. I really have. Because it's their third show. It's one of the
Yeah,
better
it's just like
a good show. It's a good show. I enjoy it.
It is. It's just your talent's going to be a little bit less right. That's why I don't usually want to go with like minor league. I always think of or developmental. I always just think of like college. Developmental I like in the sense because you're watching people grow and get better. Yeah, it really is. Yeah, you're professional, but you're getting paid, but you're not on the biggest stage yet, but you're working your way there. And clearly we've seen, and when people get called up in the right areas, Braun Breaker, Bianca Belair, Tiffany Stratton, they can shine. So no, I'm excited for it. It's been a good show. But yeah, those were the 2 PLEs or PPVs from this weekend. Those were I enjoyed watching both of them, and I really enjoyed the watch along. And we had over 45 people hanging out with us for that. So yeah, if you haven't hung out with us for a live spaces yet, or you're not sure what to do, come on, check us out, or watch the replays here on our YouTube channel. I will clip them and post them as best I can. Anything else?
Stay tuned. Stay tuned for Thursday's special.
Yeah,
live show on YouTube, which is the AEW Dynamite review.
We watch the show, so you don't have to, and we watch every single segment. So we will break it all down so we can tell people with what we think of it, make some jokes, have some fun, be interactive with the live show.
It's not all hate, by the way.
No, not at all. No, there's certain parts where we get mad. There's certain, usually if we don't like something, so far we've been proven that if we don't like something, we will try to give an idea of here's what I would like, or here's what could be better. You know, it's not like we're like, oh, boo, you suck. Not like, hey, like, okay, this isn't good, but if you did this like that, what about that? That was why the third episode was the one I first started clipping for the live show, because it was really a good conversation and good flow and talking about the shows. And so if people don't see all the segments, we can recap them for them. So yeah, it'll be fun. 8:45 p.m. Eastern right here on our YouTube page. I usually am able to get the studio built and have it up in the upcoming views by noon, 1 p.m. on Eastern most days. So come check us out. We'll have fun.
Yeah, goal this week is like 10 to 15 likes. We're slowly moving up.
Yeah,
doesn't sound like much, folks, but it helps us.
Every little bit helps, and every more people involved. You know, it's like I feel like it tells you the unique views, and each time we've gone up. You know, it started off with like 1 or 2, and then it kind of keeps going up from there. Also, stay tuned this Thursday. I should after our live show, and I'll confirm it on the live show. I should be going on with This Is Awful. I think at 11 p.m. Eastern. So thank God I live on the West Coast.
I forgot something.
On this.
You have an announcement for the crowd on the classic match of the week thing coming up?
Oh yeah. Which one did I say? What was it? I said Roddy and Bret Hart from WrestleMania 8.
Yep.
The Intercontinental title match. Yeah. Where they really were able to use the should have hit him with the belt, should have not hit him with the belt. That move.
Yeah, so that'll be our next one of those too.
Huh?
So that'll be our next classic match review.
Yeah. No, I forgot about that. Yeah, I meant to say that yesterday. I had a note to say that yesterday during TNA and completely spaced. So thank you. That's a long watch along. Yeah, been a minute since we've done one of those since we were watching. I was trying to watch as much as I could prepare for Howard so I could at least seem like I knew what I was talking about. I feel like that worked out really well. So awesome. Well, shit. Anything else you got before we wrap it up?
That's it.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening. Please like, share, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. We appreciate each and every one of you, and we will catch you next time.